Hello, everyone. I'm Jeffrey Kerr, contributing writer for GoldDerby.com. I'm here today with user Alex Meyer, and we're here today because all the Emmys are coming up, not just a week from Monday, but this weekend is the Creative Arts ceremonies. They're taking place on two separate nights, and we're here today to predict all categories we're allowed to predict on Gold Derby, plus the four casting categories, which we're not allowed to predict on Gold Derby. But I guess we can start by getting those out of the way. Are you up for that?
Sure.
Okay, so I guess starting now. Okay, these casting categories are important because unless you're Stranger Things, if you win casting, that's a good sign, pretty good sign you're going to win the top series award. Because and what I mean by unless you're Stranger Things, because last year Stranger Things won drama casting, which led a lot of us to believe that Stranger Things was going to win drama series, but that probably did us a disservice as The Handmaid's Tale won.
Mm-hmm.
Though of course, one of my colleagues at Gold Derby, Amanda Spears, keeps reminding us that, even if Stranger Things won drama casting as expected, it would be based more on the challenge of finding all these great child actors, and so apparently that didn't really mean a thing when it came to drama series. But in any case, on to this year's nominees, starting with outstanding casting for a comedy series. The nominees are Atlanta, Barry, Glow, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and Silicon Valley. And it is probably a good thing that Gold Derby's not letting us predict these casting categories because, man, these be hard to rank to see which would have the better chance of the other. But in any case, Alex, what do you think's winning comedy casting?
It's a tough call, but just based on Gold Derby's odds for comedy series, I'm going to narrowly give the edge to The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. However, if Atlanta should win this, then I'll probably predict Atlanta to win comedy series.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because these casting categories will likely affect my predictions for the main telecast as well. And of course, with Maisel, I could see the challenges in casting that. Well, at least most of the roles, because especially getting Rachel Brosnahan as the title role, which really has so far done pretty well for her, obviously. And although, I guess Atlanta, I guess I could see that being a factor too, or maybe Glow, since that's an ensemble show. But I think I'll go ahead and say Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, though if something else wins, that'll likely affect my predictions for a comedy series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now on to drama casting, and Alex, read off the nominees.
All right, and the nominees are The Crown, Game of Thrones, The Handmaid's Tale, Stranger Things, and Westworld.
Okay, so as I said, last year Stranger Things won this category, and this was probably the first time in at least a while that a show won drama casting but not drama series. So do you think Stranger Things will repeat, or will something else win that'll hopefully give us a sign of what to predict for drama series this year?
I think with The Handmaid's Tale's huge increase in nominations, that could help push it over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
And especially since they managed to get some pretty high-profile guest stars like Cherry Jones and Marissa Tomei and Bradley Whitford.
Mm-hmm.
Even though a few of the episodes from the second season aren't eligible for this year's Emmys, and we'll have to wait till next year because they aired outside the eligibility deadline. But still, if casting directors were watching it and they were still impressed by all these people in it, they might be inclined to give it to the vote. But then again, of course, Game of Thrones has one of the hugest ensembles in television history, probably, and both times that Game of Thrones won drama series, it also won this category too. So perhaps Game of Thrones comes back for a third win here, and then possibly a third drama series win.
Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, so I guess if whichever of those two Game of Thrones or Handmaid's Tale, whichever of those two win, that'll likely be that'll likely lead to me predicting it for drama series, unless it's Stranger Things again. In that case, well, look, you screwed us last year, but no, I'm not doing it again this year. So I guess of the two, I guess I'll say Handmaid's Tale, though I wouldn't surprise me if it was Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although I'm honestly surprised This Is Us didn't get nominated here, because those casting directors have the challenge, at least with the characters of Kate, Kevin, and Randall, casting 3 different generations worth of people to play them.
Well, yeah. Although they kind of, or didn't like they already cover that challenge the first season.
No, well, yeah, that's true. But then again, there were a lot of new characters coming in as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I guess this is probably a show that I guess the industry admires and respects, though probably not as much as the acting branch, given that they won a couple acting categories last year and just won the SAG Ensemble a few months ago.
Mhm.
So yeah. So I guess now on to outstanding casting for a limited series, movie, or special, which has an interesting variety here because he has actually 4 miniseries and a variety special, which is also competing in as a TV movie in some categories in the main telecast. But in any case, the nominees are The Assassination of Gianni Versace, American Crime Story, Godless, Jesus Christ Superstar, live in concert, The Looming Tower, and Patrick Melrose. So, okay, so if so I think, well, I'm currently, I'd say my prediction is Gianni Versace, given that ensemble nature of that, because, I mean, not only you have the established actors like Darren Criss, Edgar Ramirez, Penelope Cruz, and Ricky Martin, and Judith Lights, but you also have these, and, well, more than that, like, you have people like Cody Fern and others, so that's my prediction. Though if Godless wins, then that'll likely be my prediction for a limited series. Though if Looming Tower wins, well, though if Jesus Christ Superstar Looming Tower wins, well, that's not going to tell us anything about miniseries because, well, Jesus Christ Superstar's big category is Variety Special Live, which we'll be getting to soon, and Looming Tower isn't even up for a limited series. So where do you stand?
I think The Assassination of Gianni Versace easily wins this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Because Ryan Murphy is almost kind of like, you could say, the Meryl Streep of the Emmys.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Well,
anything he does, they love, and if it's like a mini series, unless there's like something even more buzzworthy, kind of how Feud Betty and Joan was overshadowed by Big Little Lies last year,
mm-hmm.
unless something else comes along and gets just as much acclaim or buzz, then Ryan Murphy usually easily wins these categories. I
Well,
mean,
yeah.
like the case with People versus O.J. Simpson, just pretty much sweeping most of these categories 2 years ago,
Yeah.
including casting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Gianni Versace's winning, though. Yeah, though I guess. Yeah, so I guess now moving on to outstanding casting for reality programs. So, Alex, the nominees are.
Born This Way, Project Runway, Queer Eye, RuPaul's Drag Race, and The Voice.
Okay, so me not being so familiar with any of these, well, at least not too familiar with any of these programs, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and say Queer Eye. What about you?
It's a hard thing to. Hmm. I mean, I don't really watch these shows, so it's hard for me to say.
Yeah, same here.
I guess I'd go with Born This Way, since I believe it won this category last year.
Let me look it up. Uh, oh yeah, you're right. Of course, in fact, we should say category is awfully new because it was first established last year. So yeah, so we don't have as much statistics. So yeah, I guess it wouldn't surprise me if Born This Way were to repeat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna go with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess now on to
maybe RuPaul's Drag Race could possibly win too.
Oh yeah, I guess I could see that. I could see that happening. So So is there any more you'd like to discuss with this category, or are you ready to move on?
We can move on.
Okay, so now on to the guest acting categories. So, and I guess we can start with Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series. The nominees are Sterling K. Brown, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Bryan Cranston, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Donald Glover, Saturday Night Live, Bill Hader, Saturday Night Live, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and Cat Williams, Atlanta. And in fact, I should point out that this is one of several categories Bill Hader and Donald Glover are competing against each other in. I'm sure we'll be discussing, we'll probably be discussing a few more soon, but yeah, so and at this point I have Bill Hader winning for Saturday Night Live, now I guess where do you stand on that? Do you have Bill Hader winning or someone else?
I have Bill Hader winning as well.
Yeah, because I guess I could see this going either direction. I could see either Bill Hader and Donald Glover earning their share of accolades, or one just sweeps through it all, or they cancel each other out, I guess. So I do have Bill Hader winning with Donald Glover behind, though I guess. Well, okay, so interesting case. We have 2 SNL people and 2 Curb Your Enthusiasm people, 1 Brooklyn Nine-Nine and 1 Atlanta. So I guess if they were all, well, at least both SNL men were to cancel each other out, who could you see sneaking in? Sterling K. Brown or Cat Williams?
I guess if there was a double cancellation, probably Sterling K. Brown, just because I don't think anyone really foresaw Cat Williams getting nominated here.
Yeah, that's true.
Plus, Brooklyn Nine-Nine went through all the buzz of it getting canceled and then revived by a different network. So, but I think Sterling K. Brown has a long shot of winning. I don't really see him pulling through.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because what are the rest of your rankings?
Oh well, okay. So Bill Hader I have in first, Donald Glover in second, Sterling in third, Bryan Cranston in fourth, Lin-Manuel Miranda in fifth, and Cat Williams in sixth.
All right. Well, I have Bill Hader and Donald Glover in first and second place, but then I have Lin-Manuel Miranda in third.
Oh.
Sterling K. Brown in fourth, Bryan Cranston in fifth, and Cat Williams in sixth.
Okay, so why do you have Lin-Manuel Miranda ranked so high in your predictions?
Well, I've been reading the recaps and analyses done by the Gold Derby editors and contributors of each of these guest acting nominees, and it seems Lin-Manuel Miranda had the more impactful submission than Bryan Cranston.
Interesting.
Whereas he's full front and center in the episode that he's nominated for, which can certainly help you in your chances of winning.
That's a good point. Though, though I guess it's worth noting. Oh, in fact, well, I guess 2 things. One, last year, Lin-Manuel Miranda was one of the many nominated hosts of Saturday Night Live in this category. And, a lot of us thought if any one of them were to win, it would be Tom Hanks, who's never won or let alone even been nominated for an acting Emmy, though you and I both predicted Hugh Laurie to win for Veep, given his overdue factor, as well as the fact that we just felt there was a feeling all this SNL men would cancel each other out. But an SNL man did win, but it was not Tom Hanks. It was not Lin-Manuel. It was
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle. Yes. So yeah, vote splitting, well, isn't always a factor, but, well, I mean, I guess it is interesting because this is the 3rd year in a row where they're utilizing this new voting system where it's all plurality votes. You don't rank the nominees when you vote. You just check off, and whoever receives the most votes wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and another factor, I guess the reason I have Bryan Cranston ranked slightly higher than Lin-Manuel is, well, I guess I'm basing it more on odds, but also given the fact that this is kind of Bryan Cranston returning to his roots, because I guess he, of course, for his first major appearances on television were on Seinfeld and Malcolm in the Middle sitcoms before becoming very well known as Walter White on Breaking Bad. So I guess I could see maybe at least some voters, throwing a bone to him, and kind of feeling happy to see him returning to his comedy roots. But no, I don't think either of them are, well, I don't think either of them are far out front by any means.
Mm-hmm. Plus, I feel that Bryan Cranston, some voters may feel he already has enough acting Emmys, and Lin-Manuel Miranda still hasn't won any acting awards ever.
What?
Maybe voters, if they know that, they might feel compelled to check off his name.
Well, I guess maybe, but then again, the Emmys always surprise us all the time, so you'll never know. It may not. Like, I probably wouldn't be. Well, I guess. In fact, I could almost see Cat Williams winning just as one of those, wow, where the hell did that come from? Kind of wins that just comes completely out of left field.
Yeah, but I don't think we're gonna get that kind of a win.
Well, yeah, neither do I. But I guess now on to Outstanding Guest Actress in a Comedy Series. The nominees are...
All right. Tina Fey, Saturday Night Live. Tiffany Haddish, Saturday Night Live. Jane Lynch, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Maya Rudolph, The Good Place. Molly Shannon, Will and Grace. And Wanda Sykes, Blackish.
Okay, so I don't know where you stand, but I have Jane Lynch winning this for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. She's kind of an Emmy darling at this point. She has a pretty great role on her episode of Maisel, so I have her out front. Now, do you have her winning, or do you have Tiffany Haddish winning?
I have Tiffany Haddish winning.
Yeah, not too surprising. I could see her winning. She's been having quite a year with, her buzzed about performance in Girls Trip last year, and as well as her subsequent appearances, including the SNL hosting stint, or, of course, her announcing the Oscar nominations with Andy Serkis, and her presentation with, at the Oscars with Maya Rudolph, who of course is nominated here. So,
plus she starred in that new TV show on TBS, The Last OG, with Tracy Morgan, and I think they just announced Tracy Morgan's going to be a presenter at the main Emmy telecast.
Oh, really? I haven't seen anything about that. I've only heard...
They announced like the first round of presenters.
Well, I know they already did for the Creative Arts, but I haven't seen any about the main telecast.
Yeah, they announced a couple. There was I'm pretty sure I saw Tracy Morgan's name on there. A couple other names I saw that jumped out. There was Rachel Brosnahan, Alec Baldwin, Michael Douglas. Because he has that show coming out on Amazon in a few months. Then there's, I think Constance Wu was also on there, and so was Sandra Oh and Millie Bobby Brown as well, and a couple other people.
Well, yeah, and of course we should say that who are some of the presenters? Remind me.
I think Kate McKinnon is also presenting as well, from what I saw.
Now, and in fact, we should say that now I forgot. Now I'm looking. Now, in fact, I'm just gonna look up the. Constance Wu. Yes, who of course is just coming off of the success of Crazy Rich Asians.
Mm-hmm. So as for the rest of my rankings, I have Tiffany Haddish winning, then I have Jane Lynch in second, Tina Fey in third, Molly Shannon in fourth, Maya Rudolph in fifth, and Wanda Sykes in sixth.
Well, I at least agree with the bottom four rankings.
All right, yeah. So I just think Tiffany Haddish, just her sheer exposure from everything she's done, will help push her over the top.
Oh yeah, I could see that happening, though.
Plus plus she has 3 movies coming out in the next few months. She
Oh
has
yeah, like a Night
Night
School.
School alongside Kevin Hart. Then there's The Oath with alongside Ike Barinholtz, and then she's in Tyler Perry's new movie called Nobody's Fool,
Ah,
which
yes.
was also the same name of a Paul Newman movie from 1994,
Mm,
which got him an Oscar nomination, although he lost to Tom Hanks for Forrest Gump.
hmm Yeah. So, so I guess now, so yeah. So I guess I guess it should be interesting to see who will take the gold tomorrow night, because Saturday night, the first night, is when they're presenting the guest acting categories. So now on to outstanding guest actor in a drama series. The nominees are F. Murray Abraham, Homeland; Cameron Britton, Mindhunter; Matthew Good, The Crown; Ron Cephas Jones, This Is Us; Gerald Mcraney, This Is Us; and Jimmy Simpson, Westworld. Now, okay, so I actually have Gerald McCraney repeating his victory from last year. Now, do you?
No, I don't.
Oh, how come?
Well, I think Cameron Britton, even though he's the only person nominated anywhere in Mindhunter, and I know he's the show's only nomination, we could have another, even though they don't do the tape system anymore, I still think we could sort of see like another unknown win, kind of like with Michael Emerson from The Practice, where he too played a very creepy serial killer, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the performance itself just seemed to get so much buzz, and when you can play that dark of and villainous of a character, you tend to win an award for it.
Mm. Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
sure I have Gerald McRaney in second place, so I'm not ruling out him winning again.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he only appeared in, I think, one episode of This Is Us in the past season. And I think what helped him win last year was the fact that even though he was only nominated for that one particular episode last year, the fact that he had appeared in several episodes obviously pushed him over the edge because that it gave voters a long enough time to know his character.
Mm. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. And in fact, oh well, yes. In fact, another thing I like to point out about this new voting system that we're in the third year in a row of with the Emmys is that okay, now okay, 2 years ago I really stumbled along my predictions for the acting races because I was under the impression like it's hard for newcomers to win on their first time out, but apparently the new voting system really made a difference because we saw less veterans winning and more newcomers like Sterling K. Brown or Courtney B. Vance or Rami Malek winning over respected veterans who you'd usually expect to do well at the Emmys. So, yeah, I guess I could see Cameron Britton. Well, yeah, I do have Cameron Britton in second place, so I could see him winning.
All right, and then the rest of my rankings from third to sixth are Matthew Good, Ron Cephas Jones, Jimmy Simpson, and F. Murray Abraham.
Hmm. Okay, I agree with you on third and fourth, though I have F. Murray Abraham ranked higher than Jimmy Simpson, but then again, I guess I could. Well, I guess they are kind of interchangeable.
Yeah. Well, I just have F. Murray Abraham in last place because I don't think anybody was expecting him to be nominated here again because
Hmm.
Homeland's kind of fallen off the radar.
Well, yeah,
It's
well,
kind of just like a name check nomination, I guess,
well,
because
yes,
he's a respected Oscar winner and everything.
well,
But
yes, and I
Jim,
guess.
plus
Oh, sorry.
Jimmy Simpson, from what I've read of Westworld, I haven't seen the show, but I read that his character is like the younger version of Ed Harris's character, and that plays an important part in the storyline.
Hmm.
And I'd literally never even heard of him until his nomination was announced.
Oh, yeah.
So, so the
And,
fact that so the fact that a virtual unknown like him can still get nominated here alongside these big veterans, that definitely says something.
well, yeah. In fact, well, yes, and again, to my point about how with this new voting system, we've been seeing more newcomers winning over the respected veterans, like of course, again, like when Courtney B. Vance won for People versus O.J. Simpson, he managed to win over Bryan Cranston and Cuba Gooding Jr. Those those are the two I can think of off the top of my head who were in this category that year that were obviously much more established. And I guess if we were under the old voting system, maybe, well, again, or if it was applying to this year, if we're under the old voting system, I guess F. Murray Abraham would, I guess, be more of a consensus choice, given that, he's a respected veteran. And, I guess that's, and though, again, with this new voting system, well, I don't know if we'll have as many name checks, but you can tell that's it's not about being a veteran anymore. I mean, at least not always the case, but yeah, I guess yeah, that's point taken.
Plus, Jimmy Simpson, I think, seems to have greater visibility because I know he also appeared in an episode of Black Mirror, which I think he got a BAFTA TV nomination for.
Oh, let me look that up.
I'm pretty sure he did. It was for an episode called Hang the DJ.
Yeah, he was nominated at BAFTA for Black Mirror, except I believe it was for USS Callister.
Oh, okay. No, I was mixing it up with because I know that they did nominate the Black Mirror episode "Hang the DJ" for something there. I do remember that.
Well, yes. In fact, not to mention USS Callister is a nominee for TV movie, which we'll be getting to by the end of this slugfest. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a good point. And so I guess now on to Outstanding Guest Actress in a Drama Series, and the nominees, Alex, are?
All right. Hold on a second. All right. The nominees are Viola Davis, Scandal; Kelly Jenrette, The Handmaid's Tale; Cherry Jones, The Handmaid's Tale; Diana Rigg, Game of Thrones; Cicely Tyson, How to Get Away with Murder; and Samira Wiley, The Handmaid's Tale.
Okay, I have a feeling you and I are going to agree on who we think is out front, and that's Dame Diana Rigg for Game of Thrones.
Yes, especially since I know she's a big fan favorite, especially among Gold Derby users. And of course, from what I read, it was revealed. Hold on, my dog's barking. I got to go give him a bone to quiet him down.
Okay. So, yeah, and Diana Rigg, who, well, is likely not going to be at the Creative Arts Emmys this weekend because she's in New York right now, finishing up her run as Mrs. Higgins in the Broadway revival of My Fair Lady. So, but hey, if she wins, hopefully she'll at least be at the main telecast to present an award, since that's pretty much what you have to do. Well, that's the usual way these things go. If you win a guest acting award at the Creative Arts Awards, then you get to present on the main telecast the following week. So, yeah. And hopefully Alex will be back here soon. And, well, yeah, so because it's really hard for me to, keep the conversation going. So, well, alone by myself, So, and, all right, so he's got to be back soon. Come on. Oh, okay. Sounds like he's coming back.
So as I was saying, I know Diana Rigg gained a lot of buzz due to the fact that it was revealed that her character was the one who killed that brat known as Joffrey.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yes. In fact, while you were gone, I was telling the people either watching this now or later, depending on how much time they have, is that Diana Rigg honestly won't be able to make it to the Creative Arts Awards this weekend because, well, she's in New York finishing up her run in My Fair Lady on Broadway's. But hey, if she wins, hopefully she'll be at the main telecast next week to present.
Mm-hmm. So then I have some interesting rankings because I went kind of against the odds for some of these, but I have my reasons.
Okay.
I have, as expected, Samira Wiley in second place, but then I have Cicely Tyson in third, Cherry Jones in fourth, Viola Davis in fifth, and then Kelly Jenrette in sixth.
Okay, in fact, I think I should point out that, it's too bad that the recent announcement of Cicely Tyson receiving an honorary Oscar came just after voting closed. So, because if it happens while voting was opened, I probably would have her, I guess, ranked. I guess I would make her, give her at least a bit more of a boost in her odds.
Mm-hmm.
So is that now is that why you have Cicely Tyson ranked so high, or other reasons?
Well, no, because obviously I knew the voting had ended before the news came out that she'd be getting an honorary Oscar, but I did take into account several things. One, she's a huge legend, she's been working for decades. Another is her age. I believe she's 94 or something.
Uh,
I know she's in her 90s, so
yeah.
even if she's in good health for her age, she's obviously running out of time to win. And I know she's won Emmys before, but she's
Well,
running out of time to possibly win another one if they want to give her something. And plus, many people felt she was a lock to win when she was nominated first for this role back in 2015. And when she lost, it was like a huge shock.
as well as when people thought she was going to win for The Trip to Bountiful, which she had won the Tony for the year prior.
Hmm. So and plus, like, from what I read of her episode submission, her character is like battling dementia. And
Mm,
that's like an easy awards bait type of role, battling Alzheimer's or dementia. We saw it with Julianne Moore winning an Oscar for Still Alice a few years ago.
mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I know Judi Dench got an Oscar nomination for playing a woman with Alzheimer's in Iris.
Mm-hmm.
Those are just the two I can think of. I'm sure there are others, but I can't
Oh
think of
well,
them right at the
yeah. In
moment.
fact, and
Julie Christie. Julie Christie got an Oscar nomination for playing an Alzheimer's-ridden woman in Away from Her.
right, which she was expected to win, but lost to Marion Cotillard for La Vie en Rose.
Right. Well, Ellen Page was also considered a serious threat that year for Juno.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess those two contenders probably split the votes, I guess. Even though I remember Cotillard did win the Globe the month prior, which, of course, that was back when, well, that was during the writer's strike, so it was relegated to, I guess, conference.
Hmm. Yeah, so for those reasons, I think she has a higher chance of winning. And then Cherry Jones in fourth, just because that's where everyone's putting her. And I just put Viola Davis down lower because nobody was expecting her to get a nomination for this, I guess.
I guess maybe the reason why she's ranked so high in the overall odds on Gold Derby is probably a name check thing, I guess.
Yeah. And then Kelly Jenrette in last place simply because literally no one, not even Gold Derby, expected her to get nominated at all. They didn't even have her in the prediction center during the first prediction round.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
I definitely agree with your last place. Oh, in fact, I wanted to point out that Cicely Tyson's only 93 now. She'll be turning 94 on December 19th.
okay.
So, okay, now though.
But at least with Kelly Jenrette, I think I read somewhere this will be kind of a sweet occasion for her because I think her husband is also an Emmy nominee this year too, over in like the short form drama.
Yes, I definitely remember hearing that in her Gold Derby interview after the nominations came out.
Mm. So at the very least, it'll be a nice date night for them, even if neither of them end up winning.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess you can say the same thing about Kerry Russell and Matthew Reese. So when it comes to the main telecast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. I always forget they're a couple in real life as well.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right.
So now on to outstanding host for reality or reality competition program, and I believe it's my turn to read off the nominees.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the nominees are W. Camille Bell, United Shades of America; RuPaul Charles, RuPaul's Drag Race; Ellen DeGeneres, Ellen's Game of Games; Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn, Project Runway; and Jane Lynch, Hollywood Game Night. So, okay, so now, Jane Lynch has done quite well in this category before, having won 2 years in a row, though RuPaul Charles won the last 2 years. And, well, in fact, so I guess Now, I currently have RuPaul winning again, so is that where you stand, or do you have someone else?
I have RuPaul winning again.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I have Ellen DeGeneres in second place, W. Kamau Bell in third, Jane Lynch in fourth, and Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn in fifth.
Yeah, that's a pretty good lineup. Although, I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess depending on if this category is going to be presented tomorrow night along with the guest acting categories, it'll be on two separate nights. Well, I mean, hey, Jane Lynch has certainly got a lot to, I guess, be thankful for in her recognition of her work this past year.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so in fact, it was just announced that I believe Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn will both be leaving Project Runway soon. But then again, voting had ended, so that announcement probably came too late in the game since voting is already over.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess now on to the variety specials. Now, okay, in the past we had Outstanding Special Class Program, but this year they've created two separate categories, one for live variety specials and one for pre-taped variety specials. So let's get on to Outstanding Variety Special Live. So the nominees are?
All right, so the nominees are Jesus Christ Superstar Live in Concert, Night of Too Many Stars, America Unites for Autism Programs, the 75th Annual Golden Globe Awards, the 60th Annual Grammy Awards, and the Oscars.
Okay, this is one of my super bets, and that is Jesus Christ Superstar Live in Concert. I mean, for one, it was like the live television event of the season, and two, I mean, many people thought it was probably like the best of these live musicals in recent years, as well as the fact that it overperformed the nominations. Like, it got 3 acting nominations, which is unheard of for a live musical nowadays. It got in for directing, I mean, Grease Live won directing, but it was for Variety Special, where Jesus Christ Superstars is nominated in limited series TV movie directing,
which I don't get because it's a variety special.
Well, yeah, and of course, yeah, so of course, we'll be talking more about that when we get to the main telecast predictions next week. But yeah, so I don't know if that'll help or hurt them. But again, more on those next week. But yeah, I think. Well, yeah. In fact, we should say that there are many executive producers. There's the recently deceased Craig Zadan and Neil Martin, who both been champions of bringing musicals back to the mainstream culture in movies like Chicago and Hairspray and TV with all these live musicals, as well as 3 people who are likely going to complete their EGOT Sunday night, which is when this category will be presented, and that's John Legend, Andrew Lloyd Webber, and Tim Rice.
Yeah. Well, and then, of course, in another category, we have 2 more people who could also potentially join the EGOT club as well.
Well, yes, though I think these 3 are more likely than the other.
Well, we'll see, because I may have something special for them.
Okay, I'll be looking forward to hearing that when we get to it. So yeah, and I guess the only thing I could see upsetting it is the Oscars, even though this past year's show wasn't as well received as last year's. But though I guess I could see probably some people voting for it kind of as protest to all these changes that were announced last month. Though one of them was recently postponed, which was this popular film category. But yeah, the other changes are. Well, one that'll be in fact starting this year.
Maybe they'll still eventually come around and change the whole programming as well and keep all the categories live on the air.
Well, yeah, because that was another one of the controversial changes, that select categories will be presented off the air, which I mean, yeah, though not all the same categories, though they would be rotating every year. I mean, if they like to keep a shorter telecast and more accessible to the general public. But yeah, that's the only thing I see upsetting. And third place Globes, fourth place Grammys, and fifth place Night of Too Many Stars.
Yep, those are all my same rankings as well.
Okay, so now for Outstanding Variety Special Pre-Recorded, the nominees are The Carol Burnett Show 50th Anniversary, Carpool Karaoke Primetime Special 2018, Dave Chappelle Equanimity, Full Frontal.
Equanimity, I think it's
Okay,
pronounced.
okay, thanks. Full Frontal with Samantha Bee presents The Great American Puerto Rico, It's Complicated, and Steve Martin and Martin Short, An Evening You Will Forget for the Rest of Your Life. So, okay, so for a while I had Carol Burnett's 50th anniversary show winning, but I've noticed Carpool Karaoke's apparently outfronting the odds. So what do you have winning?
I'm gonna take a risk and go with Carol Burnett just because it's Carol Burnett. It's her show's 50th anniversary. If she doesn't win, I think a lot of people are just going to be outraged.
Yeah, yeah. And well, yeah, and I know I might switch back, but I have Carpool Karaoke right now, I guess. Well, and now like these, in fact, as we've talked about in the past, these creative arts categories are almost like the short categories at the Oscars, only all throughout, because for one, not everyone is able to see all these nominees. There's so much of them, and and there's not as much attention paid to them as the, I guess, the main categories.
Hmm. I could just I can just imagine some voters might be sick of Carpool Karaoke winning all the time, and they just might want to give it to something else.
Well, that's true. Sorry, I'm looking up past. Well, yeah, Carpool Karaoke won the last 2 years. I mean, although granted, I mean, with these. Oh, I mean, of course, we often see repeat winners. Though again, since we're in the third year of this new voting system, which granted last year's was won by Carpool Karaoke. I mean, who knows if they'll want to do it again or go in a different direction this time? So, who knows?
Yeah, well, I have Carpool Karaoke in second place, and then I have Full Frontal in third, Steve Martin and Martin Short in fourth, and then Dave Chappelle in fifth.
I agree with the last three.
All right. All right, so now we go on to Variety Series Directing.
Correct.
And the nominees are Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, The Late Late Show with James Corden, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Portlandia, and Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
So I have Saturday Night Live winning just because it always seems to win this category.
Yeah, same here. I have that winning as well.
And then I have Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, Portlandia, Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, Late Late Show with James Corden, and then The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
6 for 6.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't really seen these specific episodes that are nominated because they're always just episode number, random number.
Yeah, like 2061 or 421.
Yeah. So it's like you have no idea what even happened. You'd have to like really comb through IMDb to find out what exactly what happened in these episodes.
Well, yeah. In fact, the Saturday Night Live episode that's nominated is the episode Donald Glover hosts, who, of course, is, having been a great career, I guess, great popularity recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess now on to Outstanding Variety Series Writing. Yeah, so the nominees in that category are Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, Late Night with Seth Meyers, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and Saturday Night Live. So I currently have John Oliver winning this. Do you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No. And second place, I have Samantha Bee. Third place, SNL. Fourth place, Stephen Colbert. And fifth place, Seth Meyers.
Oh, those are my same exact rankings as well.
Yeah. So yeah, and again, well, yeah. So I guess that's the end of that discussion. So now on to the animated categories, starting with Outstanding Animated. Sorry.
Program.
Yes, the animated program. I knew that. So, and the nominees, Alex, are?
All right, so the nominees are Big Hero 6, the series, for the episode Baymax Returns, Bob's Burgers for the episode V for Valentine Detta, Rick and Morty for the episode Pickle Rick, The Simpsons for the episode Gone Boy, and South Park for the episode Put It Down.
Okay, so now this is another category where I haven't really seen any of the nominees, but I have Bob's Burgers winning with, though I could see Rick and Morty, I guess being a threat. So is that where you stand?
Yeah, I think it's a close race between Bob's Burgers and Rick and Morty, just based on like what Charles Bright wrote about, because he loves these animated shows and he does a good analysis of them, which is good for me since I don't really watch them. So I'm going with Bob's Burgers for now, just because it seems to be the most critically acclaimed animated show. I could see Rick and Morty pulling an upset just because it's, again, the acclaim, and it's just gotten so much like memes and stuff over the past year, because I didn't even hear of it until like a year ago when like there was some meme or something about it. But I think what could hurt Rick and Morty is due to the fact that its creator Dan Harmon came under controversy when an old video of him resurfaced showing him, I guess, pretending to rape a doll, forcing him to delete his Twitter account as a result.
Yeah.
And then I have Big Hero 6 in third place, South Park in fourth, and The Simpsons in fifth.
Okay, so yeah, in fact, we should say that Simpsons currently is tied with Baymax or Big Hero 6 in terms of odds, which is 25-1. And I guess many of those people are, or I guess it's probably by smaller name recognition, which is why Simpsons has that, I guess, odds right now.
Yeah, well, I just put The Simpsons in last place because, many people feel that The Simpsons should have been canceled a long time ago.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's always hard to predict when it comes to hard to predict when these long-running shows are ever going to end.
Plus, I mean, South Park, for the most part, critics still seem to like it, even if maybe it doesn't get the same glowing reviews it had in the past. But many people think it's still better now than what The Simpsons is at this point.
Yeah, so I guess now on to Outstanding Short Form Animated Program. The nominees, I believe it's my... I believe it's my turn now, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. The nominees are Adventure Time, Robot Chicken, Steven Universe, Teen Titans Go, and We Bare Bears. So... Okay, I have Adventure Time winning, though I guess I could see Robot Chicken sneaking in. Third place, Steven Universe. Fourth place, Teen Titans Go. And fifth place, We Bare Bears. How about you?
I have Adventure Time winning, I think. Even though its series finale aired after voting was over, I think that due to the fact that I think people knew it was going to be ending, will help it win here and maybe again next year if like they submit the series finale or something. But I actually have Steven Universe in second place.
Oh, how come?
Well, because I think it's a show that's just as beloved and critically acclaimed as Adventure Time. Like Adventure Time, Steven Universe, while it definitely appeals to kids, it also has quite a huge adult fan base as well.
Good, that's a good point.
And like it's for a quote unquote kids cartoon. From what I've read about Steven Universe, it really like pushes the boundary in terms of representation of gender and sexuality and things like that. Like, there are a lot of like gay characters and like gender non-binary characters and basically all the types of characters that would have probably been a mocking point in cartoons like 20 or even 10 years ago. I mean, Dexter's Laboratory once had an episode banned from further airing in like the US, Canada, and the UK because it featured a villain who was basically an offensive gay stereotype.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So yeah. Though, do you have the same bottom two as me?
Yeah, so I have Robot Chicken in third place, Teen Titans Go in fourth, and We Bare Bears in fifth. Now, I don't know what the critical acclaim for We Bare Bears is, but if we were judging these on critical acclaim alone, Teen Titans Go would probably be in last place because most people hate that show. Well, at least animation purists hate that show.
Well, yeah. Even though it did recently have its movie that was apparently critically acclaimed that came out back at the end of July.
But those critics probably haven't watched the TV show.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you look up big name animation reviewers on YouTube, like Phantom Strider and the mysterious Mr. Enter, they hate Teen Titans with a burning passion.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
okay.
but I have Teen Titans Go slightly higher just because it's Cartoon Network's most popular show, which is why they still keep it on the air. It's kind of their version of SpongeBob. Nickelodeon only keeps SpongeBob on the air because of the ratings, and most people feel the creativity died a long time ago.
Well, yeah, and you could almost say the same thing about The Simpsons on Fox.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and speaking of The Simpsons, our next category has it's Homer Simpson self-nominated, and that's Outstanding Voiceover Performance, and the nominees are.
All right, hold on a sec. Actually, hold on. My dog again is trying to bug me because I'm home all alone and he always wants my attention, so I gotta placate him again. Be right back. I'm really sorry.
Okay, so I guess while we wait, in fact, I should point out what he means about how the creativity on SpongeBob SquarePants died a long time ago. Well, it's probably because its creator Steven Hillenburg left as showrunner because it was after the release of the first feature film, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie that came out in 2004. He wanted to end this series, but Nickelodeon didn't want to because it was still too successful for them to want to end. So he left and let someone else take over. So there you go. And yeah, the presenters. Oh yeah, I do have the list here. Yeah, the presenters that so far been announced for the main telecast are Alec Baldwin, Michael Douglas, Millie Bobby Brown, Kit Harington, Rachel Brosnahan, and Kate McKinnon, and Sandra Oh. So yeah, those are the first batch announced for now. So hopefully Alex will be back soon to, I guess, discuss the next category, which I said is Outstanding Voiceover Performance. He should be back any minute now. Any minute now. Any minute now. Any minute now. Oh, here he comes.
Sorry about that. All right. All right. So yes, the nominees for best character voice: Alex Borstein for the Family Guy episode Nanny Goats, Dan Castellaneta for the Simpsons episode Fears of a Clown, Seth MacFarlane for the American Dad episode The Talented Mr. Dingleberry, Seth MacFarlane for the Family Guy episode Send in Stewie Please, and Russi Taylor for the scariest story ever, A Mickey Mouse Halloween Spooktacular.
Okay, and yeah, it's interesting because one, Seth MacFarlane is a double nominee in this category, and Alex Borstein is also a double nominee, though not in this category. She's nominated here as well as supporting for Marvelous Simpsons' Maisel. Though overall, I do have Borstein out front. How about you?
Yeah, I have her winning.
Yeah, because now I'm not too familiar with who votes in the below the line categories. Do actors vote in this category?
I don't know. I would imagine they do under the new rules. I'd be shocked if they didn't.
Well, yeah, because the actors branch would, because they obviously, if that's the case, then they've obviously been familiar with her work this past season. So I guess that's what puts her out front in this category. Though, okay, so now, in fact, what do you have for the rest of your rankings?
Then I have Seth MacFarlane for Family Guy in second, Dan Castellaneta in third. I best remember him as the grandpa from Hey Arnold.
Well, yeah.
Russi
And
Taylor in fourth, and then Seth MacFarlane for American Dad in fifth.
yeah. And Dan Castellaneta also voiced the genie in the Aladdin. Well, all the Aladdin cartoons after Robin Williams in the first film.
Well, Robin Williams did come back for the second home video spin-off, Aladdin and the King of Thieves.
Oh. I'm not sure if I knew that, but yeah, in any case, yeah, I agree with all those rankings. And I guess now on to Outstanding Narrator. So the nominees are Sir David Attenborough, Blue Planet 2, Charles Dance, Savage Kingdom, Morgan Freeman, March of the Penguins 2, The Next Step, Carl Reiner, If You're Not in the Obit, Eat Breakfast, and Liev Schreiber, 24/7. So where do you stand? I have David Attenborough winning. What about you?
I have him winning as well, and this is my second super bet.
Oh,
I just think he's a legend. I don't know if he's won an Emmy before. Maybe he's won for producing nature documentaries in the past. I don't, but I mean, I know he's getting up there in years. I know he should be in his early 90s, I think.
he's 92.
Yeah. And of course, his older brother is the late Oscar-winning actor director Richard Attenborough. But I guess for him, this will be like a nice overall legacy award for his career as a naturalist.
Well, yes. In fact, I'd like to point out that David Attenborough has been nominated for. Well, actually, this is his fourth nomination. He hasn't won one yet.
Oh, even better. So that's all the more reason for him to win one now.
Uh-huh.
So and then I have Carl Reiner in second place, and I know Carl Reiner is now, for this year, he's now the oldest Emmy nominee in history at the age of 96. And then I have Liev Schreiber in third, Morgan Freeman in fourth. I probably would have had Morgan Freeman higher if it weren't for the sexual harassment allegations made against him earlier this year.
Yeah.
And then finally, Charles Dance in fifth.
Yeah, those are my 5 exact rankings.
Cool.
Okay, so now on to Outstanding Structured Reality Program, and so the nominees are
Antiques Roadshow, Fixer Upper, Lip Sync Battle, Queer Eye, Shark Tank, and Who Do You Think You Are?
Okay, I have Queer Eye winning this with Shark Tank in second, Lip Sync Battle in third, Antiques Roadshow in fourth, Who Do You Think You Are in fifth, and Fixer Upper in sixth. How about you?
I have the same top 3, but then I have Fixer Upper in fourth just because that seems to be the more popular out of all the shows in the bottom 3. And plus, I know the hosts they said they're taking a break or something to focus on raising their family. So if voters want to reward them now, it would be like the last time for them to do it if they were aware of that information. And then I have Who Do You Think You Are in fifth, and then Antiques Roadshow in sixth.
Oh. Okay, so yeah, I did just move a Fixer Upper a bit higher in my predictions because of what you said.
Okay.
So now on to Outstanding Unstructured Reality Program. The nominees are Born This Way, Deadliest Catch, Intervention, Naked and Afraid, RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked, and United Shades of America. So where do you stand on this?
So I have United Shades of America winning, then Born This Way in second place, RuPaul's Drag Race Untucked in third, Intervention in fourth, Deadliest Catch in fifth, and Naked and Afraid in sixth.
Yeah, I think I have those same rankings.
All right. So now we go to Outstanding Documentary Series. And the nominees are American Masters, Blue Planet 2, The Defiant Ones, The Fourth Estate, and Wild Wild Country.
Okay, I have Blue Planet 2 winning, though I guess at least according to the odds, Wild Wild Country could be a threat. Is that where you stand?
Yeah, I have the same top two.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I guess as for the rest of my rankings, I have American Masters in third, The Defiant Ones in fourth, and Fourth Estate in fifth.
All right. Well, I have the Fourth Estate in third because it's about journalists holding the Trump administration accountable.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think makes it more game to possibly upset the two frontrunners. And then the Defiant Ones I have in fourth just because it's something we've never seen before. It's it's technically a mini. I think it's a mini series technically, but it's a new face. So I think maybe voters might want something fresh and new. And then I have American Masters in fifth just because it's always nominated here and it doesn't often win. I think.
Huh. I guess that's a good point. So, well, yeah, in fact, what you said about the Fourth Estate, it sounds like it should be ranked higher in the odds, but I guess Antiques American Masters has a higher rating. I guess it's probably based more on name recognition.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, which is probably a case you'll see a lot with I guess some of these categories. But in any case, now on to Outstanding Documentary or Nonfiction Special. And the nominees are...
It's your turn.
Oh, great. The nominees are Icarus, Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond, Mr. Rogers, It's You I Like, Spielberg, and The Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling. So... okay, I currently have Icarus winning. I mean, we've often see Oscar contenders in the documentary categories or that were nominated or not, which we'll be getting to in the next category. Do well here, I believe.
I definitely agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, I have Icarus winning, though I guess I could see Mr. Rogers, It's You I Like is I guess a potential threat. Yeah, I guess given the current I guess resurgence of Mr. Rogers with the documentary Won't You Be My Neighbor and that upcoming biopic film where Tom Hanks is going to star in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a tough call for me going back and forth between the two because I figured it's probably going to be a nail-biting vote but before the winner's announced. But I'm ultimately going with Icarus just because of the Oscar win and recent Russian controversies in the news. Donald Trump's defense of Vladimir Putin, even though that's not the focus of this documentary, that can certainly spur voters to check it off because it's about exposing Russian corruption.
Yeah. So as for the rest of my rankings, third place I have Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling, fourth place Spielberg, and fifth place Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond.
I have Spielberg in third place, Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond in fourth, and then the Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling in fifth.
Oh, I guess that's another great ranking. Oh, great way of ranking them, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So why do you have, I guess, before we move on, why do you have the Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling in last place?
Just because the other two were getting more attention, more buzz. Especially with, Steven Spielberg is a legend, so I think that would kind of put him in a higher chance of having a documentary about him win this. And then Jim and Andy, The Great Beyond was getting quite a bit of buzz last year, and I know it was even listed among the potential contenders for Best Documentary Feature at the Oscars because it explores how Jim Carrey portrayed Andy Kaufman in the movie Man on the Moon and how he tried to mimic Andy Kaufman's mannerisms by basically being Andy Kaufman 24/7.
Yeah, that's a good point. And in fact, of course, the director of Man on the Moon, Milos Forman, passed away this past year. So I don't know if that'll have any impact though. And with Spielberg, its director Susan Lacey, I believe. She has another documentary coming up on HBO about Jane Fonda.
And then Zen Diaries of Gary Shandling. I guess one thing it has going for it is that it was directed by Judd Apatow.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's why it's ranked so high in the odds. Again, the whole name recognition factor.
Could be, but I don't really see anything beyond Icarus or Mr. Rogers winning.
Yeah. So now on to outstanding documentary filmmaking, which has only 4 nominees this year, but in any case,
the Emmys call this category exceptional merit in documentary filmmaking.
Yeah. So the nominees. Okay, I believe it's your turn.
Yep, and the nominees are City of Ghosts, Jane, Strong Island, and What Haunts Us.
Okay, this is the second category where I have my super bet, and that is Jane. It may have missed the cut for the documentary Oscars this past year, but I think it has a great chance to rebound here.
Yeah, I think its Oscar snub will definitely help push it over the line. But I could see maybe City of Ghosts possibly pulling a small upset because it deals with conflict in Syria, which has been the focus of many documentaries and been a big focus in the news. So,
yeah, I can agree with that. And yeah, the rest of my rankings, well, Strong Island third, and What Haunts Us fourth.
Yeah, same here. Strong Island, of course, was nominated earlier this year at the Oscars for Best Documentary Feature.
Yeah, so now on to Outstanding Informational Series or Special. The nominees are Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown, Leah Remini, Scientology and the Aftermath. The Next Guest needs no introduction with David Letterman, Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Vice. So who do you have winning? I have Anthony Bourdain. How about you?
Same here.
Yeah. Yes, so I guess, and what are the rest of your rankings?
David Letterman in second, Leah Remini in third, Vice in fourth, and Neil deGrasse Tyson in fifth.
5 for 5 again. So now on to Outstanding Main Title Design. The nominees are
The Alienist, Altered Carbon, Counterpart, Glow, and Westworld.
Okay, so earlier today I watched 3 of the main titles nominated here, which were Westworld, Glow, and Counterpart. And I guess each one impressed me more than the other as when I got to it. Like I watched Westworld first, but then I was amazed by the I guess creativity and the visuals for Glow. But then Counterpart, man, that looked unique. So I don't know. I think it's between those top 3, though. I guess as of now, I have Westworld winning, Glow in second, and Counterparts in third, Alienist in fourth, and Altered Carbon in fifth. How about you?
Same rankings.
Yeah. I think. Again, of course, these categories are voted on by separate peer groups, not only nominations but winners as well. So, but at least you see whoever's voting in this category throwing support at Westworld or Glow, since it is a comedy series nominee. But I guess now on to main title theme music. The nominees are... Oh, wait, I believe it's my turn.
Yep.
All right, so for Outstanding Main Title Theme Music, the nominees are Carlos Rafael Rivera for Godless, Michael Dana, Oscar winner for Life of Pi, who's nominated here for The Last Tycoon, John Paisano for Marvel's The Defenders, Jeff Beal for The Putin Interviews, Mike S. Olson, Bridget Ellen Kearney, Michael Calabrese, and Richard Price for Somebody Feed Phil, and Chris Bacon for The Tick.
So my rankings are I have Godless winning, then I have The Defenders in second place, The Last Tycoon in third, The Tick in fourth, Somebody Feed Phil in fifth, and The Putin Interviews in sixth.
Oh, I actually have the same top four as you, although I have Putin Interviews in fifth and Somebody Feed Phil in sixth.
I just think anti-Russian sentiment is going to put The Putin Interviews dead last.
I could see that, but yeah, I do. But yeah, I agree. I think. Well, again, we don't know what the peer group voting in this category is going. It will more likely go for. But I think with Godless being the most established of the nominees, I think that probably puts it out front here.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. So now for outstanding music composition for a series, original dramatic score, the nominees are.
All right, so the nominees are Game of Thrones for the episode The Dragon and the Wolf, Jessica Jones for the episode AKA Playland, Once Upon a Time for the episode Leaving Storybrooke, which I believe is the series finale, SEAL Team for the episode Pattern of Life, Star Wars Rebels for the episode Family Reunion and Farewell, and Westworld for the episode Akane no Mai.
Okay, so I have Game of Thrones winning this, so I could see Westworld being its I guess its closest competition. What do you think?
Yeah, I have the same top two, and of course they're both composed by the same composer, Ramin Djawadi.
Right. So, and of course, we don't know if it's like the Oscars where the names don't even appear on the ballots. Because if they were, I mean, I guess I could see him being at risk of vote splitting with himself, unless the voters are able to decipher which was his better work.
Well, I think. I mean, I know there's been a lot of complaints about him not winning for Game of Thrones up until now, so this might finally be his overdue moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could totally see that.
And then as for the rest of my rankings, I have Jessica Jones in third, Once Upon a Time in fourth, Star Wars Rebels in fifth, and SEAL Team in sixth.
6 for 6. And in fact, it's also worth noting that Game of Thrones is, of course, going to be ending its run soon. The next season, which will air in 2019, will be, I believe, 2019. Yeah, will be its final season. So there aren't many chances left to award Ramin for his work on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So now on to outstanding music composition for a limited series, movie, or special original dramatic score. The nominees are Michael Dana and Jeff Dana, they must be brothers, for Alias Grace.
Yeah, they are.
Mm-hmm. Daniel Pemberton for Black Mirror, USS Callister. Harry Gregson Williams for Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams. Cristopol Tapia de Ver, I hope I did the best I could pronouncing that, for Philip K. Dick's Electric Dreams. And Carlos Rafael Rivera for Godless. And Cyril Eufort for March of the Penguins 2, The Next Step. And yeah, I listened to the top two scores I have ranked, which are Godless and Black Mirror, and I have Black Mirror winning this, with Godless as its closest competitor.
Yeah, same here. And then I have Alias Grace, March of the Penguins, and then the two Electric Dreams at the bottom. Well, specifically The Commuter in fifth and Crazy Diamond in sixth.
Yeah,
we should mention they were two separate episodes that were nominated here.
Well, yes, I guess I should have mentioned that, but yeah, I agree with you, as well as the odds that Commuter is more likely to stand out from Electric Dreams than Crazy Diamond. But yeah, I don't think either of them really have much of a shot, but you'll never know. Yeah, so now on to outstanding original music and lyrics, and this is the other category where there are two potential EGOTers, and the nominees, Alex, are.
All right, and hold on a sec. Yep. So the nominees are The Buddy Song from Steve Martin and Martin Short, and Evening You Will Forget the Rest of Your Life. Comeback Barack from the Saturday Night Live episode hosted by Chance the Rapper. High Crimes and Misdemeanors from the Good Fight episode Day 450. In the Market for a Miracle from A Christmas Story Live. Just Getting Started from If You're Not in the Obit, Eat Breakfast. And Totally Gay from the Big Mouth episode Am I Gay?
Yes, and well, yes, and in fact, we should say that the people who are potentially in the market for an EGOTs, pun intended, is the Christmas Story Live song "In the Market for a Miracle," which was written by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul. I mean, they've already managed to win the Oscar, the Globes 2 years in a row, but that doesn't count for EGOTs. Really, the Grammy, which they did win, and the Tony and the Emmys, all they need to complete their EGOTs. So.
If they do complete their EGOT, they'd be the fastest people to ever do so in only 2 years.
Well, yes, and I believe they'd be the first. Well, then again, Andrew Lloyd Webber, Tim Rice, and John Legend are likely going to be completing their EGOTs as well. So again, this would probably be the first time in history we see multiple people complete their EGOTs in the same night.
Yeah, it is, because that would be 5 people. And there's only like 13 or 14 EGOT people right now.
I thought there was 12.
I think Robert Lopez became the 13th.
Well, I mean, he's.
Let me check, because we have.
Well, yeah, because I mean, there's technically a longer list, but that's of people who only have like.
But I'm thinking of all the people who specifically won all 4
competitively.
Just let me.
Yeah, because there are people like Alan Menken and Barbara Streisand and Liza Minnelli who are technically EGOT, but one of their major awards was only honorary and doesn't count. Let's see, Richard Rodgers, Helen Hayes, Rita Moreno.
Yeah, I have it here. It's 12.
Yeah, I was right. It was 12.
So yeah, because there's Richard Rodgers, Helen Hayes, Rita Moreno, John Gielgud, Audrey Hepburn, Marvin Hamlish, Jonathan Tunick, Mel Brooks, Mike Nichols, Whoopi Goldberg, Scott Rudin, and Robert Lopez.
Yeah.
So that should bring it up from, if all 5 do win, that would bring it up from 12 to 17.
Yeah, though if only one of the teams win, then it'd go up to 14 if Pasek and Paul. Though if not them, then but if they don't, and Andrew Lloyd Webber, Tim Rice, and John Legend do, then that'll be up to 15. So I guess now on to our predictions for this category. It seems that a comeback Barack is out front, and you said you have something special for this. So what is it? Do you have Christmas Story winning this?
Yes, I do.
Oh, interesting.
I figure I know with these categories there's always going to be some winner that goes against the main prediction, so I figure I have to make at least one rogue prediction somewhere.
Well, yes, in fact, for those of you who are unfamiliar to Gold Derby, if you go against the odds and get a prediction right that wasn't, if you correctly forecast an upset, then you get bonus points for predicting it.
And even more bonus points if you make it your super bet.
Yeah. So what are the rest of your rankings?
So then I have Comeback Barack for second, Totally Gay for third, The Buddy Song fourth, Just Getting Started fifth, and High Crimes and Misdemeanors sixth.
Okay, and
although I should mention here's like some cool awards history with the Buddy not the Buddy Song, with Just Getting Started. All 3 of the songwriters are Oscar winners. You have Dave Grusin, who won an Oscar for the Milagro Beanfield War, and he's got nominated for a bunch of other stuff, and he also wrote many iconic TV themes. Probably his most famous is the St. Elsewhere theme. If you listen to it, it'll immediately get stuck in your head. And then, of course, the other 2 are the husband and wife team of Alan and Marilyn Bergman, who've won 3 Oscars apiece. So they have 6 Oscars between the two of them. For, I think, The Thomas Crown Affair, The Way We Were, and I think their third was Yentl.
Yeah, well, yeah, 2 of those were, of course, Barbara Streisand's movies.
All right, and yeah, so those are my rankings.
Yeah, as for me, I have Comeback Barack winning, though. Well, yeah, it seems to be number 1 in the odds, as well as the fact. Oh, and this was another category where I did listen to a few of the, well, half the nominated songs, and I end up going with Comeback Barack because of the important, I guess, message of how people miss Barack Obama in office, especially in the kind of hell we're living in with Trump as president. And it was a song that was meaningful and funny at the same time, and I guess I might just settle on The Market for a Miracle in second, and I Am Gay in third, Just Getting Started in fourth, The Buddy Song in fifth, and High Crimes and Misdemeanors in sixth.
All right, and now the final category being relegated back to here after it was relegated here in 2015, TV movie.
Yeah, and yes, and it's my turn to read off the nominees, I believe.
Yes.
All right. So the nominees for Outstanding TV Movie are Black Mirror, USS Callister, Fahrenheit 451, Flint, which is another product of Craig Zadan and Neil Marin. Well, one of, I guess, now posthumous nominations for Zadan, Paterno, and The Tale. So, okay, so before nominations were announced, it looked like The Tale was the frontrunner, but underperformed the nominations. It only got this and Laura Dern in lead actress, while Black Mirror USS Callister, it kind of overperformed with Jesse Plemons sneaking into lead actor, and I believe it's in for writing as well. So, I believe the only TV movie nominee that got in for writing, so that's probably a leg up there. So yeah, I have USS Callister winning with, I guess, The Tale in second, Paterno in third, since it did receive that directing nomination for Barry Levinson. The fifth place, Flint, and sixth place, Fahrenheit 451.
Wait, do you mean fourth place Flint and fifth place Fahrenheit 451?
Yes.
Okay, because you said fifth and sixth place.
Well, if I did, I apologize.
Yeah, I have the same top 5 rankings. I think Black Mirror easily wins this because it just has like way more nominations. And then, The Tale and Paterno, Flint all pretty much underperformed outside of this category. And while Fahrenheit 451 did get several technical nominations, it was not well received by critics. And I think it only got in here just simply because it's based off the iconic Ray Bradbury novel, and I think just for the star power of Michael B. Jordan, Michael Shannon, and Sophia Boutella.
Well, yeah, and it's also probably here as filler.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's a shame that they had to relegate it here. I wish that they just keep it on the main telecast always, but I guess they're too embarrassed by the nominees to put it on there. Kind of like when Grace of Monaco got nominated despite being critically slammed across the board.
Yeah, and that was even supposed to get a theatrical release, but was relegated to TV.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of a good thing. I watched Grace of Monaco, and it was god-awful, with Nicole Kidman being the one saving grace.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we've gotten through all the categories. So, again, the Creative Arts Emmys will be taking place tomorrow night and Sunday night. So, I guess hopefully, well, best of luck to anyone predicting, including Alex and I. And, whatever happens, well, hopefully it bodes well for us in our final predictions for the main telecast. So, I guess good luck to you all.
And we will see you next week for our predictions for the main Emmy telecast.
That's right. So, see you.